The claim is made that the Bible is just like any other religious holy book, that it's filled with instructions for violence and war. Is that really the case? There are some unique features about the Bible when it comes to what appears to be instructions for violence and war. Firstly, the instructions that are only in the Old Testament are limited in time, they're limited in location, they're limited in circumstances, and they're also limited in agency. That is, who very specifically was to carry it out. This is different to some of the claims of other religious holy books where their instructions for war and violence are open-ended. There are also circumstances where the Old Testament prescribes capital punishment. The capital punishment was always corresponding to capital crimes, that is, where the life of another person was taken. And so the Bible actually prescribes, in some instances, capital punishment commensurate with capital crimes. God actually gave restrictions to Israel in three aspects when it came to war and violence. Firstly, they were never to attack innocents. Secondly, they were never to attack without warning. And thirdly, they had to always offer terms of peace before war so as to avoid war. This makes the instructions regarding war, the rules of war in the Old Testament, unique to any other religious holy book. The Old Testament carries commands that contain capital punishment with no record of anyone ever suffering or being the victim of such a penalty. And the reason for this is there's two distinct commands given. One is how rulers are to be respected, and the other is for how parents are to be respected. And in both instances, the capital punishment that's associated with the command is what we might call a gravity statement. That is, the penalty reveals the gravity of the command. In other words, God is saying respect for those who pass law, the judges, and in the Old Testament times this was the priests of the tabernacle, priests of the temple, and also for your parents is of incredible importance. So you weren't to show disrespect to either a judge or to your parents. There is, as I said, no record of anyone who violated that command ever actually being put to death under the penalty of capital punishment. And the Bible is unique among the world's religious holy books. It's unique because it's actually a book made up of two covenants, the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. And the two covenants form one testament. This testament is comprised of these two parts, the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. And it was Jesus Christ who ushered in the New Covenant. And in the New Covenant, there's not one, none, zero, none, no commands to carry out war to further his cause or even to use violence to promote his cause at all. This makes the Bible very unique among the world's religious holy books. Of course, some people point to the Crusades or the Inquisitions or even to organisations such as the Ku Klux Klan, which perhaps claim to be Christian, and these events were claimed to have been done in the name of Christ. But when we read what actually Jesus Christ said, you don't even need to be a theologian or a Bible scholar to realise that what these people did was in complete contradiction to what Jesus Christ taught. There's no verse that they can cite in the New Testament that gave any justification for carrying out what they did. This makes the Bible unique among the world's religious holy books.